Hello, and welcome to the May 2025 Cards of the Magi reading. And we have a lot to get into this month. It's not the easiest ride in May of 2025, so stick around during the video so you can hear ways and tools to tap into your higher self and other ways to navigate this month so that you don't have some of the negative influences, which can be illness to loved ones or family members, illness or worry yourself. And really, you're going to be wanting to be creating a foundation this month, even though it seems like there's a lot unsettled and a lot of challenges. I'm Chloe Petalino, and welcome to my new channel here. Please like, follow, and subscribe. I really greatly appreciate it. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to first start with the Two of Spades here. And the Two of Spades is a coming together of two people, of a partnership in some way. It's actually the card of the Aquarian age as well. It talks about mutual respect and cooperation with one another. And it talks about how much we can achieve if we work together with another person in partnerships. This card indicates that we're not going to be tolerating a lot of mistruths. Now, that's going to be in our personal lives, and that's also going to be on the larger scheme of things within society, politics, etc. We're not going to be standing for mistruths anymore. We're going to want the honesty and the truth to be coming out. This card indicates we're going to be learning the value of cooperation and compromise, and in doing so, that is how we're actually going to achieve our desired results. So this card supports us in this month of May, working together, coming together, investing with one another, time, energy, effort towards a common goal or a common purpose. Also considering how the state of the world is at this point in time, it's also indicating, supporting one another. How can we come together to help each other out, rather than to be divisive and separating between people? So this is a card that's indicating this month, again, with this Aquarian age feel, is community, people coming together, working together in collaboration towards common goals. And this may be support for one another. As we scoot over here to the King of Diamonds, the King of Diamonds here is in what is called the Pluto position. The Pluto position is areas that we're going to have to overcome. They're challenges. They're asking us to go to a higher level in order to basically achieve our result card here, which is the Seven of Hearts. The King of Diamonds is an archetypal card of the successful business person in leadership positions, in positions of power, in business and work. It's a full authority figure, and they are able to basically come up with profits in whatever they do. Now, because it's in this position, this Pluto position, it's indicating that this is actually going to be a challenge this month. Now, it can be a challenge in a couple of ways, one of which is it's asking us to step into our role of leadership, to step into your position of power as relates to your finances. And this is especially true if you own your own business or your own company, or you're able to some way in your job or position step into positions of leadership. Now, on the other hand, it also can indicate that a King of Diamonds, someone that represents that in your life, whether that be a loved one or a colleague or a boss, could show up as a challenge. It also could be, perhaps you may think of some political figures that are known for being in full authority in terms of money and finances. They could also be a challenge in that way. It might be affecting us if we look at some of our political leaders, at least in the US at this given time. This could be a challenge in a lot of ways. There's also sometimes this can show up as ways that we idealize and actually want to emanate some of these qualities, which again goes back to kind of getting clearer on your own money desires and your own power as you step into that. If you're looking to go into developing your own business, card is indicating this month you're going to get a little bit clearer about how to do that, how to approach that, and then step into it. Now, on the other side of this, the Seven of Hearts here as this result card, this card is the card of unconditional love. And in this position, the Seven of Hearts indicates that there could be some challenges on the mundane front, in this material world, in the matrix world, whatever you want to call it, on the day to day. There can be some challenges, which is indicated by this card. But it says that we are challenged by this card to overcome by loving others unconditionally. And now, how to interpret this, especially in more of the grander scheme of things collectively, is to move away from the divisiveness and step into more of the collaboration. Again, as this Aquarius card, the Two of Spades, indicates here, this is supported by this Seven of Hearts, which is going into this unconditional love. And so what I think it's going to be asking us to do in the month of May is to be supporting each other rather than looking at our differences, leaning into our similarities and how we can love and support and show up for one another, as we need a world with more love and support rather than breaking it down, rather than the fear-based that is so kind of widespread right now. Understandably so, considering the different political climates that we are in and a lot of the unknown that we are going through in the United States and on a global scale as well. So this Seven of Hearts is trying to encourage us to actually face our fears, specifically around our own attachments and our needs for love. It is asking us to look at perhaps our automatic behaviors and reactions to love, how it's received and how it's given, and asking us to potentially go higher in this way and leaning more into the higher aspects of love and spiritual love, which is unconditional love. And so there could be some fears of betrayal or abandonment that might come up during this month, but it's asking you again, raise yourself higher and self-nourish, give your own self the love that you need and allow others to go, sending them love on their way and sending love in general if these fears about betrayal or abandonment come up, rather than leaning into negative habits, whether that be, not responding to people or manipulative types of behaviors and reactions based in your own fears. So this month, you're going to be looking at that and how that comes up for you. Again, this card indicates go higher, go above that, lean into unconditional love, knowing that really we're all here just trying to do ultimately the best we can. And this is a big year for everybody, 2025 is, and we're all just doing our best to navigate it. So sending love to others, including yourself, as you navigate this month, is really indicated by this higher love card, spiritual love card, represented here with this Seven of Hearts. As we scoot up here to this Four of Spades, the Four of Spades is in the environment position, and this means it's like the flavor of the month. Now, Four of Spades is the workaholic card. It's a heavy work card, and it's indicating that success is going to come through hard work. Blessings will come through hard work and protection will come through hard work, but you're going to be protected basically by this stability. This card will help you overcome any issues with work or health. Four, again, is a stable influence. Four is the square. It's stability, like the home, like the foundation. Again, foundation that we're trying to build here, as hearkened by this Two of Spades. This Four of Spades is further indicating this stability and this foundation needing to be laid this month in May, but it's saying that you're going to have the support for that foundation. Again, it might come through some hard work, but you will be able to achieve some sort of a foundation during this month. Now, as we scoot over here to the Two of Hearts, we have the Two of Hearts, which can be a sudden or unexpected romantic relationship or a passion entering your life. It could be the meeting of a new lover. It could be the meeting of friends. Because it's in the Mercury period here, it indicates that it also could be a coming together over mental pursuits or mental interests. Having conversations that are intellectually stimulating would be supported by this. So it's a coming together, a union on a mental level. With the Two of Hearts in Mercury position, there's a little flirtatiousness around this. You might, during this month of May, learn a little bit more about love through experimentation and variety. Relationships that are happening right now or starting right now during the month of may not be the most long term because Mercury energy is pretty quick moving and fleeting, but it certainly could be an enjoyable relationship. Underneath there, we have the 10 of Diamonds, and this indicates a possible streak of financial success. It could be related to siblings, it could be related to a trip, it could be related to distant foreign affairs. So that's possible. However, at the same time, that money that flows in might be just as quickly to go out during this month of May. Money is supported for endeavors that are related to writing, related to speaking, teaching, those sorts of avenues, education. This 10 of Diamonds in this position could be an increased focus on money, but don't let it be so much so that you neglect other areas of your life or are short-sighted in your decision making. So word of caution there. As we move over to the next column, this is what is called the Venus column, and we have the Jack of Diamonds and the Six of Clubs here. Now, the Jack of Diamonds is a highly creative card. It's indicating you're going to have a lot of success in any creative endeavors, especially those because it's in Venus, which is related to women and to the home, especially endeavors that are related to beauty or home. You're going to be successful during this time in selling those products. This is also a good influence to reassess and reevaluate your marketing strategy during this time and possibly come up with some other creative solutions. The other indication of this card in this period could be that you have a male of the diamond suit who is younger than you that enters into your life. They can be a little bit dishonest, as all jacks can be, so watch out for that. But it could be a very fulfilling and fun relationship or interaction. The Six of Clubs below is a steadying influence. We have two sixes here. Sixes are in general kind of a monotonous or a stable influence. It's indicating that your personal relationships are going to be pretty steady overall. Now, that could be positive or negative depending on your relationships and what you're actually desiring for them at this time. But it's talking about peace and harmony coming through, cooperation and responsibility in your relationships. And that also is around how you communicate in your relationships. So be mindful of that in this month of May. Now, as we scoot over to the Mars period here, we have the Jack of Hearts and the Six of Hearts. The Jack of Hearts is known as the self-sacrifice card. This could be a month where you actually sacrifice doing things that you would usually do. You might give something up for a higher reason or higher purpose. So that could be a bad habit, or that could be, drinking or marijuana, or it could be things like giving up not eating healthily or giving up sweets, whatever it might be. It's something that you don't typically give up, but you are feeling called to for some reason this month, and likely because you're really asked to tap into some higher spiritual influences, which I'll get to in this Neptune period down here. But that could be coming up for you, and it's a way for you to take yourself higher. It's a desire you have because you want to bring yourself to a higher level, and you want to be more advanced, possibly in your spirituality and in your wisdom as you are gaining that over this month. You are also going to be able to master your emotions in a lot of ways. And in doing so, you're going to be encouraged to take actions that are more selfless and are for the higher and greater good. This card, right below this Aquarian card, the Two of Spades, is again really supporting, okay, are we coming together here as a people, coming together, caring for one another, having unconditional love for one another, and supporting one another despite all of the other kind of noise and chaos going on that's really pushed towards us in a consistent way. It's saying that we might be leaning into more selfless and giving pursuits and helping each other out. Think altruism here. Think about giving to others, knowing that we also very much receive when we help and give to others. And now that certainly is supported here by this Six of Hearts as well, which is an indication of be responsible in your personal relationships, because you reap what you will sow. What you give will also be returned to you. So this card here is indicating that any relationship issues this month are actually going to be dealt with and going to be settled. So have a little bit of patience this month. The month's going to ask you to slow down and be responsible in your personal relationships, not just to gloss over them and push ahead, but to address what you need to address in these relationships. And might that mean sacrifice in some ways? Yes, it possibly could in this Mars period with these two cards here. The other thing about the Six of Hearts is that any legal things you've got going on or any romantic interests, the results are going to be fair and equitable for all parties. Another thing I forgot to mention on this Jack of Hearts also could indicate a male of the heart suit that you might be in your life, probably younger, considering it's a Jack rather than a King. Jacks indicate younger males. And it could indicate in the Mars period, we can have a lot of attraction or a lot of aggression towards them. So that might be coming up during this month of May if you have some heart males in your life. As we scoot over here to the Jupiter column, we have the Seven of Spades and the Three of Clubs. Now, the Seven of Spades is a heavy duty card. It's the card of faith. Sevens are about spirituality. And it's talking about faith, and it's asking us to have a lot of faith. Now, Jupiter positions are about blessings. However, this card in this position is indicating that you could have an illness coming on either to you or a loved one. If it's coming on to you or you might experience it, it could be as a result or related to relationships in your life or work in your life. And that would be, if it were to be the case, it would be related to overworking. So be mindful of that. We do have this Four of Spades up here that encourages hard work and effort, but don't overdo it to the point that you are becoming ill by the amount of work that you are doing. So there's a word of caution there as well. It talks about how we can conquer basically the mundane, the monotonous, the day-to-day, the material aspects of life through higher ideals. And these such things are having faith that, there is a greater plan, even though it might feel very difficult to see that right now, considering the world events going on, that there is actually a divine plan in place that is happening, even though we might not feel like it. Having gratitude, engaging in a gratitude practice for what you do have, so that still continues to flow your way. Higher levels of wisdom, being honest, having self-discipline. So leaning into these higher aspects of self can really help combat some of the challenges of being overly materialistic or overly worried about material outcomes. Again, lean into gratitude, have faith that everything is ultimately working out in a divine realm, even though we can't even see it at this moment, or it's difficult to see. Do know that this card is a very high, strong card for spirituality and for one realizing their spirituality. So this is a card indicating to go higher for sure. Now, below that, we have the Three of Clubs. This is known as the writer's card. And yes, it indicates that success can come through writing. It also can indicate threes are about variety and having a multiple options type thing. It actually indicates that you could have success by juggling or managing a couple of different pursuits and interests or opportunities at the same time. This card encourages you to try it out and just see how it goes. Do not overthink it. The downside of the three can be indecision. And so it also could indicate that you have some indecision about money or business. Again, it's saying you actually benefit from multiple at once. So give that a try and see how that goes. As we scoot over here, we go into the Saturn period, and Saturn's about lessons and can be about challenges. And we have here the Three of Hearts. Again, as I mentioned about the other three, threes can be about indecision. So this one's actually indicating there could be some indecision around love, relationships, and friends. Especially it could, I don't know, if you've got a love triangle going on, it's going to be difficult and that's going to come to the surface this month, and you're probably going to have some conversations about it, as indicated over here by some of these cards. You're going to need to show up and be responsible in your communications, in relationships during this month. So that is something you're going to now have to deal with, basically. Caution around here about worrying about your health or the health of a loved one. The card also can indicate that there could be chronic worry, and that could be related again to your own indecisions as well. And so if it's coming up to a relationship that you're having a lot of indecision about, it actually could be that the challenge right here is because you refuse to stick with one relationship and stick it out actually with one person. So watch this. This card could be a lot of illness basically related to worry. Both these threes can. So this is asking you to release the worry by addressing what you need to address and potentially make some decisions around steadiness in relationships if that is what you are wanting. Below that, we have the Jack of Clubs. Now, Jacks are highly creative cards. Clubs are about the mind. We have the stability up here that I talked about, laying the foundation. The Jack of Clubs here is indicating that you are building for the future right now. So for those of you who have been putting in a lot of work, been putting in a lot of effort, and you're like, am I even going to get anywhere with this? What am I even doing? This card is supporting you, saying that you are actually making efforts towards building a foundation. So remind yourself, if you're having some difficulties with creative projects, you are supported with these jacks in creativity, even though this card here indicates some challenges with creativity. You've got two prominent jacks here who are going to override any challenges with creativity. So just remind yourself of that. Keep making steps forward in your creative endeavors. Again, knowing that you are building a foundation that will come to fruition. The other thing to know about this Jack of Clubs in this position is caution around verbal agreements you make, especially if they're verbal agreements that you're not even intending on keeping. That's going to come around and bite you in the you-know-what. So don't make verbal agreements if you don't have a plan of keeping them, basically, is what this card is indicating to you. The other thing just to watch out for here is the potential for dishonest doctors or physicians. Very unique to this card in this position. So just throwing that out there. Again, you take what resonates or what doesn't. Please always do that for yourself and trust your own intuition. It also, this card in this position could indicate that some men of the club suit are proving to be a bit burdensome or difficult for you. And those would be men that are either coming at you towards you in a creative endeavor way, or ones that are coming towards you in some sort of a romantic way, that they could show up as being a burden to you right now, according to the position of this card. As we scoot over, we have the Four of Diamonds and the Ace of Hearts, and this is in the Uranus position. Uranus is about surprises and the unexpected. The Four of Diamonds here is a great steadying influence for finances, so it's a solid card to have. Again, the fours are about stability, and this is saying that you're going to have basically efforts that you put in are going to result in gains. You could get some unexpected money coming your way this month. That would be related to labor endeavors, real estate, humanitarian efforts, or kind of some newish technology coming online. Could be related to that as well. And it also speaks about positive relationships with coworkers and with institutions actually this month. And it says that you could be getting some money from institutions this month as well. This is overall a very grounding and steadying influence to have. So grateful for that protection of the Four of Diamonds the month of May. Below that, with the Ace of Hearts, this could indicate that you have some kind of unusual, unexpected social or romantic relationship or proposition that comes up in this month. It also is a card indicating about like spiritual new age. And again, the Aquarian era in many ways. There's a desire here for occult and future knowledge. You're wanting to raise your awareness. You're wanting to delve into new ways of thinking and expand your spiritual thought process. This is also a great influence for meeting new people and having new exciting connections with new people. So definitely set the intention to be open to that. And then as we scoot to the final, the Neptune position here, we've got the Ace of Spades and the Eight of Clubs. Now, these cards are heavy hitters in terms of spirituality. We're closing out the reading with them indicating there is something coming up. Now, Ace of Spades is about secrecy. Could indicate that secrets are revealed to you, that you discover some secret. It could be that you discover it about foreign interests. It also could be that secrets are revealed through travel or through some sort of journey. Your intuition is strong. This card indicates your intuition is very strong during this time. You might have the desire to learn more about your past, whether that be past in this life or past lives. You're interested in wanting to know maybe more about the mysteries of the universe and how things function, esoteric knowledge and wisdom. Again, the occult, just higher spirituality is of big interest this month. This card also could indicate a beginning of a new job. Aces are about beginnings and desires, and spades are about work and health. So it could indicate that you may begin a new job or your job moves in a new direction, something of that sort. This card is indicating you're going to have a lot of rewards for any sort of inner work, spiritual study, spiritual advancement that you do during this month. You're highly supported. And then just bouncing down to this Eight of Clubs in the Neptune position further supports this, saying that there's a higher psychic sensitivity in the air this month. And that higher psychic sensitivity can help you in your healing efforts. It also can help you access hidden information, specifically in the metaphysical realms. And by studying and pursuing these higher sources of knowledge, you are going to be more satisfied and rewarded in your spiritual work this month. Now, I realized earlier I did not indicate what the affirmation and intentions are for these cards, so let's go ahead and do that now. The King of Diamonds affirmation says, I transform myself to become more successful financially by assuming positions of leadership and power in my business and job. The affirmation and intention for the Seven of Hearts says, I create high spiritual and unattached love. I learn to release attachments and fears. So those are what we're going to be leaning into this month, as well as a spiritual high influence. So all in all, what this month is indicating is that we are going to be coming together collectively, partnerships. We are going to be working together. This is a month of calling us to be in support of one another. And in doing so, we are going to collectively achieve our goals individually and collectively. The support of each other, unconditional love, having support in that way for each other. So all in all, this month, the themes that we have are related to stability. Remember that even though things may feel very rocky and unsteady right now, this month of May is actually setting up the foundation, okay? It is setting up the foundation for future success. It is saying that partnerships and working together in collaborations, whether it be with coworkers and friendships, whether it be in romantic relationships, we're going to be working together with the other person, examining your own communication, being responsible in your relationships and in your communications is going to be important this month. Again, these Aquarian principles of support for one another and the collective and community and coming together are very, very present this month. And they're indicating that that's the end result. The end result is going to be, how can we go to higher levels of love, higher spiritual love, which is unconditional love, understanding that we're all really just trying to do the best we can. And this is a pretty rocky and a pretty unpredictable year. So giving each other a break, helping each other out to make it through is really supported here. And it's saying that by going higher, by going into the spiritual aspects, and our own self-study and inner mastery, that is where we're going to bring success. That is where we're going to have rewards. So stepping into unconditional love, stepping into our own self-mastery and spiritual study is going to be helpful for us. Make sure you're taking care of yourself related to this Seven of Spades here, leaning into gratitude if any fear comes up, leaning into faith, that things are going to work out okay, and making sure that what you're attending to, what you're putting your mind to, is actually the desired outcome. Okay, so whether that be the desired outcome for health and wellness for yourself or for others, make sure you're leaning into and paying attention to, rather than worry, instead of leaning into worry, paying attention to what you actually desire as the outcome in order to prevent from that worry to come about. So thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Take whatever resonates, and I'd love to hear how this reading impacts you, what your experiences are, and have you already felt some of this energy coming on? And let me know how it impacts you this May in the comments. Thanks so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you here again next time. Thanks so much.